Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Once again, Electra left Will alone and vulnerable on The Bold and the Beautiful. She left him alone with Luna after learning what happened. Fans called her out for not considering her boyfriend's feelings on this matter. Electra, Lania Grace, showed up at the Spencer estate to start a fight with Luna, Lisa Yamada, who is pregnant with Will's Crew Moro child. Still, Electra had no problem with knocking Luna out. Will Remy and Deke end up with Luna's baby on B&B. But then, Electra left Will alone with Luna. She told him that she had to think about everything that had just transpired. Will assured Electra that he loved her, and she believed him. However, she needed to be alone rather than to comfort him. This played right into Luna's hands. B&B fans on X, formerly Twitter, reacted after Monday's episode. They called her out for not considering Will's fans. Some fans argued that Electra was acting as if she were the victim in this situation. One fan wrote, "Electra's storyline makes zero sense because they have Will apologizing to Electra when he was the victim, and they have her showing no support toward him." Someone else posted, "I know Will isn't apologizing for causing Electra this pain." B&B viewers argued that it wasn't Will's fault. Luna sexually assaulted him when he was drunk and vulnerable. Who's going to stop Luna on B&B? And now, once again, he's left alone and vulnerable while Luna is lurking in the Spencer mansion. However, not all fans are against Electra's actions. Some stated that she needs time to think about everything. Meanwhile, others supported Electra walking away from Will and his messy situation. One person wrote, "This is a lot to process for Electra, because after everything that happened to Will, it is harder to deal with while Luna watching Will down as she smirks with evilness." What do you think? Do you feel that Electra isn't considering Will's feelings? Or do you think she needs time to think everything through? Sound off below in the comments section. Bold and the Beautiful fans are not holding back as Electra finds herself at the center of yet another controversy, this time not for her fiery confrontations or shocking punch, but for the way she seems to have completely overlooked writing. Bold and the Beautiful fans are not holding back as Electra finds herself at the center of yet another storm, this time not for a dramatic punch or a heated argument, but for what many viewers see as her failure to consider Will's feelings as her actions ripple outward and stir chaos in every direction. Fans have turned their attention to the emotional fallout for Will, and the silence around his perspective has left many feeling frustrated, disappointed, and angry at the way Electra has been portrayed in recent weeks. Social media erupted almost instantly after the latest episodes aired, with fans pointing out that while Electra has every right to feel hurt, betrayed, or justified in her confrontations, she has not once paused to consider the impact on Will, a child who has already weathered heartbreak, conflict, and upheaval as the son of Bill and Katie. Hashtags like Protect Will, Justice for Will, and Don't Forget Will began trending as viewers demanded that his emotional well-being be given the attention it deserves. Longtime followers of the show argued that Will is not just a background character, but a vital part of the canvas, and his reactions to the unfolding chaos could add much-needed depth to a storyline that is currently being carried by Electra's rage and Luna's humiliation. By overlooking Will's perspective, the writers risk alienating fans who crave a reminder that children in soap operas are more than props to be moved around for dramatic effect. They are characters with hearts and voices, and audiences want to see those voices honored. Fans in online forums have debated whether Electra's disregard for Will is intentional character shading that will lead to her downfall, or whether it is an oversight in the writing itself. Some believe this is a deliberate creative choice, painting Electra as reckless and self-absorbed in order to set up a powerful redemption arc in which she will have to face the damage she has caused to a boy who looks up to her. Others, however, argue that it undermines Electra's complexity making her appear shallow and unlikable, when she could instead be written as a woman torn between her impulses and her responsibilities. What makes the fan reaction so intense is the sense that Will deserves better. His storylines have always emphasized his vulnerability, his yearning for stability, and his desire to be loved without conditions. To ignore those feelings in the midst of Electra's feud with Luna feels to many like a betrayal of what his character represents. Viewers have shared emotional posts about how difficult it is to watch Will once again become collateral damage in adult drama, with one fan writing on X that every time Will gets forgotten, it feels like history repeating itself. Another commenting that soaps should show adults taking accountability, especially around children. For others, the frustration with Electra is personal. They see in her behavior echoes of real-life situations where children are sidelined during conflict, and they want the show to model accountability, empathy, and care even within the heightened reality of daytime drama. Defenders of Electra insist that her blindness to Will's feelings is not malice, but the product of her own pain, arguing that she is consumed by survival and self-protection and cannot yet see beyond her own suffering. They suggest that this may be the very heart of the storyline, that in ignoring Will, she is setting herself up for a reckoning, one that could ultimately humanize her in a way no other storyline has yet done. Still, the majority of voices remain critical, pointing out that whether intentional or not, the absence of Will's perspective is a glaring hole in the narrative and a missed opportunity for deeper storytelling. Soap operas thrive on emotional resonance, and few things strike more deeply than the bond between adults and children. The fact that Electra has failed to even mention Will or check in on his feelings feels like a violation of that core truth, and fans are not willing to let it slide. Many are calling on the writers to course correct, demanding scenes where Will speaks his truth to Electra, where she must confront the consequences of her actions, and where the show honors the idea that even the youngest characters deserve a voice. Some are even predicting that Will himself could become a catalyst for change in Electra's arc, suggesting that his disappointment or hurt could break through her defenses in a way no adult confrontation could. This possibility has sparked fan theories and speculation about how a tearful heart-to-heart might unfold, with Will finally standing up for himself and Electra forced to face the reflection of her choices in his eyes. Whether the writers will deliver that payoff remains uncertain, but the conversation among fans is proof that the storyline has struck a nerve, and that Electra's choices are shaping not just her fate, but the emotional investment of the audience at large. One thing is clear: B and B fans are watching closely, and they are not afraid to hold Electra accountable, reminding everyone that in the world of daytime drama, no feeling is too small to matter, and no character should ever be overlooked, especially a child like Will, whose heart is too often forgotten in the shadows of adult mistakes.